Oh man, the wait is finally over. It's finally summertime. You know, the greatest times of all years. I can basically do whatever I want in these 3 months of complete free time. I could play some video games that I left in a backlog. I could go watch some fucking YouTube streams at night. I could do so many things. But I think I need to use this free time to get more footage for my next TC2 video. You know, I kept that thing on hold for quite some time. I've seen that some people are just kind of waiting on it. Some people are gonna be upset if I don't. And I mean, I don't even blame them. I promised that I would do it in early 2024, but for some reason, I just couldn't get through that deadline. I just don't know why. Well, whatever. It's finally time to get some footage. So it's time to hop onto a game of TC2. Oh no. Hill's Channelita has been banned by RAC. Oh no. What did I do? Witch hunting? Homophobia? Transphobia? And Zionism? Zionism? Zionism. Inf days remaining until unban. What kind of number is Inf? You have been banned to protect our community? What? Hang on. Maybe there's something that I'm missing. Just let me do a bit of searching and oh no. Oh no. Well, damn. So, what happened? As you can see here, there's some pretty heavy stuff going around with my name on it. A permaban from both the TC2 Discord server and the game, and a whole 2-minute video showing the possible evidence that I'm an actual threat to the community, and a few leaked screenshots from a Discord server in which I was working on a video that was supposed to come out next year. You know, you could say that these are some pretty heavy allegations, and apparently, according to the video, the points that I'll address are either outdated, lacking proper context, or even likely spread misinformation How the fuck did you type this out? Or even likely to spread misinformation purposefully. Now here's the thing that I must say, Slugger. That's a nice little theory you got there. Unfortunately though, those things that I talked in the message, I do have the context for that. They are not outdated. The only reason you say that is because it makes you look bad. So, dear viewer, hold on to your seat, grab some popcorn, because I'm about to tell you a story. A story of 4 months of complete torment, caused by a group of people in the TC2 community who held a grudge on me for being proven wrong and tried to get me out through false information. Strap in. Copyrighted music. Copyrighted music. February 3rd, 2024. Former TC2ber Beanz started a tournament he organized with N7 Trade, one of the most well-known training places in the TC2 community, to which I participated as the commentator, thinking that nothing could possibly go wrong. The tournament turned out to be a complete mess. Chill match. Which led to Beanz canceling the entire tournament out of sheer pressure. He refunded all the prizes and ultimately retired from the community as a whole. So after the cancellation of the tournament, I looked around in the server and I saw that a bunch of people were grouped up in one VC. I think it was around 50 people, 40 people, I don't remember. It was still a lot. So while we were there, I asked Beanz, hey, what if we make a stage so we can talk to people? And he agreed. And from that point forward, the stage was made and we talked about the tournament. Some people were talking about how badly it was organized, some people talking about the chaos that unfolded within the tournament, and others were a bit dramatical.
This tournament was a fucking disaster. I was looking forward to this tournament. I wanted to win a giveaway. Especially the fucking Rising Sun Katana. I wanted that very badly. I'm a motherfucker in this server that paid to be recognized. I paid $10 server boosting this shit to be recognized. I don't know what I'm saying. But even GOG doesn't even like my yapping. Like, this man inspired me for years. And he doesn't even like my yapping. Like, come on.
Okay, dude. But whatever. The stage was mostly kept civil and normal. No one was fighting with anyone. No one was making a big deal out of it. It was all just a normal discussion between members of a community. So how did it go wrong? And how is this related to anything that is happening right now? Well, it all started once a person called Toggle sent a message in the stage chat talking about a certain Noki being scared of Twix as a joke. If you haven't been in the TC2 community, specifically the Discord server, Noki is a current moderator for both the game and the server. But around that time period, he was just a tester and a longtime member. And he was there, within the audience. Menacingly, I must say. So when I saw that message, I just thought it was really funny. So I decided to add into the joke by saying, I mean, he's scared of me too, so, because people were just talking about whatever and joking around. So I thought it wouldn't have been a big deal. I thought wrong. I thought very wrong. Because what I didn't expect is that this joke would start an entire campaign against me from people who wanted me banned because I made that joke. And this campaign was started by none other than Noki himself. It all started when I suddenly get a DM from Noki, where he posted a clip of him supposedly laughing at what I said, even though it really just sounds like a car engine starting, or an old man getting strangled.
Everyone in like general DC.
And then he posted a video of, I guess, him lifting. I don't know why he posted that, but okay, I guess. And after that, those two videos were followed up by the most threatening row of messages I have ever read. Let's take a look at them, shall we? I managed to get a screenshot from it. Repeat that again? Tough motherfucker. You thought I didn't hear that? Watch out where you talk shit about me or anyone else next time. Please and thank you. Well, goddamn, I messed with the wrong Polish individual. Now, as you can see here, these messages seem to be pretty threatening. Like, honestly, if someone were to get these type of messages on Discord, they would be weirded out too. So I want you guys to imagine what my response was to those DMs. I want you guys to guess on how I responded to these very serious Discord messages. I'll give you like 5 seconds. Alright, time's up. It's time to see if you guessed the $1 million question. How did I respond to these messages? Play the clip.
Played Legion. I suffered for Legion for a roamer, which was strange because I thought stuff would be for his own tournament, but I guess not. So
He
That's
realized
interesting.
what was gonna happen, and he got the fuck out of there.
so I played. I was supposed to play once.
So, as you can see there from the clip, I basically just responded in the most unserious way possible, mostly to show that I didn't really care about it, and I mostly considered that as another one of those odd internet interactions. What I did not expect was Noki trying to get on stage to confront me while also having his friends in the chat trying to pressure me into saying something, and since that happened, chaos ensued once again.
The fuck did you think when you said this? Like, actually,
I just said it as a little joke, I don't know why you're taking it personally.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get. Listen, man. When I was younger, I'll also say the sarcasms like this. Yeah, I feel you, man.
When I was younger, 2 seconds ago.
Listen, man. I get you. When I was younger, I'd also do shit like this, you know? I would be like, alright, let me insult that guy and then, you know, back up backwards, you know? Fucking backpedal.
It was mostly just a joke that I did just to make fun of you, you know? Like, it's not that deep.
But who is this top tier yapper you guys invited on the stage right now? He's like a whole character.
I did not invite him.
He's over here laughing and shit like a psychopath.
Oh, hold on. Let me send something. I think they don't know. Look.
You're gonna send the clip of me saying the fake. Like, what are you trying to prove?
You tell me that I'm afraid of you, then you said it's a joke. Make up your mind.
Fucking
I think
community
this is
gets
the wrong environment.
I genuinely don't want to make a fight. Like, I just want to talk to people about this fucking tournament.
Okay, I respect that.
What the fuck happened?
Well, let's just say that this was a complete 180 on how the stage was just a few minutes ago. But unfortunately, it got worse. Because at some point, Real Tough asked me,
Dennis, you have power in this situation. You can kick this guy off the board.
to which I refused to do. Because I didn't think that would have been fair. That instead of clarifying things with someone, you just outright get them out. It's mod abuse, in my opinion. It reminded me a lot of Slugger. So I decided to make another joke by saying, do I look like Slugger to you? Looking back at this, it was definitely not the greatest thing to say, and the joke was definitely more pettier than the last one, but it was a joke nonetheless. Now, of course, Slugger, being the very rational and normal mod that they are, is completely gonna take that joke and not start a fight of their who the hell am I kidding?
Listen, man, I get it. You like talking shit about me? Everyone here likes talking shit about me, but like, if you're gonna say it, just say it to my face.
Okay, do you want me to say it? You're not a good mod. It's just the fact that you guys can joke about whatever. You guys can joke about whoever the fuck you want, but when someone else jokes about you, that's unjustified. That's like harassment. That's like bad.
What are you talking about?
I like how here Slugger basically just ignores my point and acts like they didn't just do exactly what I said. Because if it really wasn't because of the joke, why the fuck are they on the stage? You'll see this a lot later on, so keep this in mind. If you guys are able to, like, make jokes about whoever you want, how come when someone does a joke about you, like a very simple-ass joke, you guys get, like, mad and shit?
Well, it wasn't a joke. You just said I was a bad mod. Clearly, it wasn't.
Kind of was honestly a joke.
I made a joke about about something that happened, you know? Also, Beanz, what the fuck are you doing? Beanz!
Man.
What was once a friendly way to talk about something that failed quickly turned into a massive fight between the LTMs and mods over a joke, and later turned into FNAF gameplay. But at the end, I apologized for the joke and he accepted the apology. Like, listen, my comment was stupid, your argument was stupid. Let's just move on. I'm sorry that I did that joke, but that's all I can say. You know what?
Apology accepted. Okay, apology accepted.
Which made me think that was the issue the whole time, and the stage would continue on for quite some time, once again putting what just happened as just another weird internet moment. Then I went to sleep. February 4th, 2024. I wake up, go to my PC, open Discord, and oh no. You got banned from Typical Colors too. Again? This is the third time that it happened. You know what? Let's give the reason a read. Like, what happened this time? Reason. Should have stayed banned in the first place. And don't give me good ideas, Dance. I guess that's a reference to something. I don't really know what that means. I probably have to look it up somewhere. Even after your unban, which was part of a situation you yourself have said countless times was resolved, you continue to be spiteful towards this game's testers and moderators. Oh shit, I did that? Oh no. You've continued to break Rule 4, and then it just cuts off. I can't read anything else. Well, color me confused, because I have no idea where this claim of being spiteful came from. Is it perhaps the joke that I made a day ago? No, that can't be right. He accepted the apology. There's no way that Noki and Slugger took that interaction as a good enough reason to ban me. So, after this ban, I started to ask myself some questions about how and why this happened. After all, it mostly seemed like there was something else going on in the background. And I managed to find it through having a conversation with two interesting individuals. These people being Fireflanks and Sveglicious. Fireflanks was a former TC2er that silently cut ties with TC2 entirely by silently deleting his Discord account, and seeing from what he's doing on Twitter, it seems like he's more focused on the Yakuza series. Which, good for him, I guess? Whatever. In this conversation, we mostly talked about how there were a few problems within the friend group server that he invited me back in September of last year, saying that I was problematic, which ended in him and Sveg kicking me from it. Now you might be wondering, what was the possible cause of this? Did I harass someone? Did I go into someone's DMs and post videos of myself to threaten them somehow? No, it wasn't that. It wasn't any of that. According to Fireflanks, him and Sveg were going through some transphobic and homophobic accounts on Twitter. Specifically, the Blamau Tweets account and the Black Taking L's account, which are basically troll accounts on Twitter that make fun of certain people or make exaggerated memes to get a reaction out of people. The thing that they found problematic was that I followed them on Twitter. So of course they jumped the gun and asked if I was a racist and a homophobe. Although from the messages it seems more like an actual accusation and not really a question. But I completely understood why that would be a concern of theirs. And the simple answer was, no, I am not. So when he asked me why I followed them in the first place, I gave a pretty simple explanation, which is how I handle things on Twitter. Twitter is a place where a bunch of people can start massive wars on random things and seem to be in the right through their social agendas and or botted engagement. So troll accounts, like the ones that are shown, are to give me something different on my feed. Something that can be funny, although sometimes insensitive. If I find a post on Twitter or any social media in general that I find particularly funny, I usually put a like. And in some rare cases, I retweet posts that I find a lot funnier than they should be. I don't do any of these things because I have a specific bias against certain groups of people, and you can't assume the opposite and pretend that is the truth. If I were to maybe retweet something like, I don't know, a Trump tweet or anything political, I'd get it. But if it's a meme, a comic, or mostly something that is supposed to be just for laughs or to purposefully get a reaction out of people, there's no real reason to say that I'm an awful person for finding those things funny. It's like someone on Twitter complaining about Cards Against Humanity being offensive. No shit, Sherlock, that's the point. The very least you could do is do what Fireflanks did here and ask what was going on and get some clarity. Since this will be talked about later on in the video because other people would use these retweets and likes as definitive proof that I'm an awful person, I feel like it's better if I address them now. And I would like to say that regardless of whether or not my intentions were malicious or not, I do want to apologize for the retweets that I made as of late. I should have definitely been way more responsible on what to retweet and what not retweet, and I should have definitely thought twice before doing so. Because now looking back at it, I really didn't realize at the time how these retweets would give me a bad look, and I am sorry. I shouldn't have done that, and I will take accountability for making that mistake. But I want to make it crystal clear that this apology is not in any way me confirming that the labels that people later on made about me were true. They are not true, and they do not represent me at all. And they are clearly over-exaggerated claims that are made by people who hate me. He later asked me if I found gore funny by also showing a post from one of the accounts that was making a meme out of someone's suicide stream. And I would like to clarify, I have never seen that post, not that I got to see it on my For You page, and I think these types of posts are just fucked up and not funny. But despite that, I decided to ask him how is any of this relevant to the group, or the TC2 community for that matter. He didn't really respond to that and just decided to once again paint me as a racist by showing someone in the group saying that I once said I'd get along with him fine until he said he was Mexican. Now, the way that Fireflanks explained this was very out of context, so I'm going to explain it because I remember how it went. We were basically in a VC within the server with this person and a bunch of other people. I'm gonna keep the name of this person anonymous for the sake of not getting them involved into this, but just know that it was a person that I knew in the TC2 community, but I never got to know him personally. At some point in the VC, I told him we would get along really well, and it was just a random thought going through my head, but I remember that someone mentioned that he was Mexican out of nowhere, so I decided to joke about that by just saying, nah, never mind. It wasn't supposed to be something that should have been taken seriously. I was mostly making fun of people that actually act like this in real life, looking at a specific thing that doesn't really matter in who they are as a person and showing disinterest or disgust as a result. It was meant to be just a joke. Although I did end up apologizing to the person because I didn't think that it would have offended them, but they later told me that they didn't really care and it only seemed bad at first and it didn't really sound like it was a joke. So that was my mistake at the end, but he told me he was fine with it since he understood that I was sorry about this inconvenience. It was actually just a very nice and honest interaction. That goes to show that not everything has to be the worst possible outcome or done out of complete malice. Just miscommunication. Which is interesting considering how Noki and Slugger had the exact same thing going on, but instead of clarifying, they decided to make a fight about it and get me banned. But whatever. This was just a slight concern that Fireflanks had on me, and a bit more clarity led to him saying that it's not 100% confirmation that I am the things that I like and retweet, so that means that this was a one-off concern and shouldn't be used as an actual point. Right? Foreshadowing is a narrative device in which a storyteller. Now, for the second thing that Fireflanks has told me is quite possibly one of the things that did get me banned and started this whole fight out of nowhere because of a joke. I told him that I am open for criticism when it's true and has to be explained in detail, like what I did minutes ago. And this gave Flanks the incentive to make a list of genuine problems that I bring to the table in general. Hey Dan, maybe be active outside of drama. A sub-special coming early 2024. Maybe don't be a dick to Piro over his rank. Yo Piro, what's up dude?
Yo Dan, what's up man? How you doing?
Maybe don't shit talk people in public. I mean, he's scared of me too, so... Maybe apologize. Alright, just give me a second for this one, guys. Bro. Fucking ads, bro, I swear to God. Maybe don't try to be something you're not, aka the voice of the community? When did I say that? Also, he tells me all of this while dropping the hardest piece of fan art that I've ever seen. Like, holy shit, this goes hard as fuck. He didn't make it, but holy damn. Like, look at that title. The most hated TC2 player of today. You know, that's a false title to give me, but with this pose, I'd wear that shit as a badge. I am so tempted to put this as my profile picture. But after that, you might have noticed a name drop in that list. Right on the second line of the maybe list. Piro. Who the hell is Piro? Piro Video is one of the most well-known contributors to the game, specifically for making the new shotgun animations. But why is he important to the ban? Well, that's because from a call that I had with Flanks, he basically told me that one of the pieces of evidence that led to my very real and fair ban was a 9 minutes and 20 seconds audio recording that, going from his words, was made by Piro to purposefully get me banned. Unfortunately, I didn't record that call because Flanks told me at the start that I shouldn't have, and I foolishly complied, but it's very obvious to notice that Piero is the one who recorded this by just listening to the parts where he speaks. His mic is noticeably clearer compared to the other voices, and you can also hear him clicking. It's weird. So he definitely recorded this. But why? Why did he do this? What made him have this very devious plan? He wasn't even a part of the people that tried to attack me over at the chat. He was literally just waiting to get on the stage. To understand why, we have to take a look at the other individual that I mentioned way before, Svegalicious. Zveg is one of the people that reached me out back in September with the Ice video saying that it was great, and also told me that he dated Ice back when he was 13 and Ice was 16. Cut to February of 2024, and he starts to say that I'm an extremely negative person who does nothing but spread hatred and that I amplify drama, and that even if me following some specific accounts on Twitter isn't because of something actually malicious, they generally said that they look extremely bad without context. And apart from basically just not agreeing with each other within the conversation and somehow messing up the title of the most well-known negative XP song, his main point was that I was being mean to Piero. And going from the messages shown here, yeah, I was being pretty petty. But this wasn't completely unprovoked. Piero was one of the people that kept downplaying what I did simply because he had connections with the people that I've shown in the video. So while I do understand that it was petty and I could have kept it to myself, I didn't because this was a private friend group server, so I felt like it was okay for me to say what I wanted to say. But I guess not. So after I responded to that, since I found his logic very disingenuous and biased, I had to wait a day later to get a response, in which he basically tells me that I continually made jokes about the thing with Ice and repeatedly got into fights with Piero, by also mentioning that it's a very touchy subject between them, which basically translates to Piero was a good friend of Ice and Sveg had his own story with them. So since that's the case, you can't talk about it at all. Sure. But apart from all of this, let's see how this connects with Piero. When the 7 trade stage was still going, way after the fight with Noki and Slugger, I decided to get Piero on stage, and by that point, I just talked to him normally. The only thing that I really said to him was this. Like, listen, Piero, you're a high rank, right? I'm just saying. You're a high rank, you know, you're affiliated with those people.
I totally get it, man. You go ahead.
Like, honestly, if I was in your shoes, I would cut the cord. I would fucking cut the cord.
I mean, it's pretty profitable, so I'm staying.
Even if I don't really agree with what he said here, I do understand why he would come to that conclusion. Money is money, after all. But I was mostly keeping a normal conversation while also talking about how ridiculous the whole thing with Noki and Slugger was. There were no personal attacks towards Piero for that entire time. I was being respectful to him. And what do I get in return? Him secretly recording me talking while putting things out of context with the only intention to get me banned. You know what? This is such a nice showcase of reciprocation and mutual respect. And definitely not proof that Piero is a fucking cunt. But let's get to the main question. What is in this audio recording that is so spiteful? Thankfully enough, since I have a 2-hour-long recording of the stage, I was able to connect both the video and the audio so we would get proper context to what I was talking about. I'm gonna put the video and the audio play at the same time once they connect, and I'll let you hear it in full.
Yeah.
Whether or not they should continue without the prizes and shit, and they said no, so...
It's...
I don't know how... I don't know.
it's-
I think Beanz is kind of like in a bad state right now. Like... I don't...
How is he gonna
think
refund that much funds?
I don't know, but I think it's gonna take a while before you know, he gets back on being normal, because like he even went on saying that he's gonna quit. Like, that's, I could get it. This was kind of a bail, but like I don't think it's that much of a fail to just quit. I think that's a bit too exaggerated.
I feel like it's the smarter move to do.
Yeah. It wasn't Bean's fault.
And I mean,
It was more
Bean
of
still got the spirit, even though after the stream, like, he got the spirits. Like, the fact that he put fucking random FNAF gameplay while in an argument that made no fucking sense, that's based. This is why I love the guy. This is why he's generally... This is why I love being part of the Outsiders.
Yeah.
But yeah, and by the way, I am very glad that I had this idea of making a stage, because this is fucking fun. Like, despite what happened a few minutes... Forget about what happened a few minutes ago. That was fucking stupid. I don't know what their point was.
Kind of fire, though.
Yeah, that FNAF gameplay was the only good thing that I understood.
Was amazing.
I don't know. I have no idea what those two were trying to prove.
Honestly, dude, I still don't know. I just kind of deafened and didn't
like,
really care about.
I really don't think like listen, Pure, you're a high rank, right? I'm just saying, you're a high rank. You know, you're affiliated with those people.
I totally get it, man. You go ahead.
No, you're affiliated with that shit. Like, honestly, if I was in your shoes, like, I would cut the cord. I would fucking cut the cord.
I mean, it's pretty profitable, so I'm staying.
No, because like the thing is, it's I think it's secondhand embarrassment. Like, what were they trying to do, honestly?
Honestly, man, I don't know.
Like, all I did was just make fun of like of people that I have to say, like, do I have to say it publicly? I already showed my dislike. I don't like them. I think they're very unprofessional and very childish, but that's my opinion. But like, only because I did a joke on whatever the fuck they did, they decided to do this whole like song and dance. It's weird.
I get
I get that whole ego thing, right? Like, I get it. Okay, everybody has them. I also have ego. But like, I wouldn't put that much of a show off of like how fragile it is, you know? Bro, shut up about open bro, John, I'm unfriending you, John.
Don't do it. No,
Yes, bro. You ain't plugging
Do that
it.
update. Yeah, come on.
Okay, wait. I was basically out getting dinner when the fight happened, so I got no idea about the context. Okay, Mev, do you want the context? Do I have to explain it a little bit?
There's a tournament. It fucked up, and now we're here.
All right. So basically, after the tournament, I told Beanz, hey, what if we make a stage? And like a lot of people were like in VCs doing stupid shit. I was like, hey, what if we use that to make a stage? So we like talk to people and stuff. And first, it was completely normal. Okay, it was completely normal. Until people started to talk about like Noki and shit. I was like, oh, they're talking about Noki. You know, the guy that like. To be fair, honestly, he's kind of weird, like in the way he acts. He's kind of weird. I think he's bipolar, but that's just assumptions.
I don't know.
But basically, like they brought up Noki being scared of like the Twix guy. I recognize the name, but I don't remember what it was. As a pun, okay, as a little joke.
Guys, to be honest.
And like as a little joke, I was like, I also had a bit of a conflict with like, I also had a bit of a conflict with Noki, but mostly high ranks themselves. I was like, you know, let me just make a joke. They're also scared of me. You know, it was really just a one-off thing that really shouldn't have been overthought about. And then he decided to make this whole, like, at first he DM'd me the clip of him laughing at me saying that, and then he joined in. Trying to make this whole like make it a big deal out of it. Like, the thing is, I even said like, do you want me to apologize? If you want me to, it's like, no, you have to explain yourself. Explain yourself on what? The fact that I said something about you? it's weird. It'll give you a little bit too much sometimes. I mean, all high ranks are kind of too much sometimes. Like they're a little bit too sensitive. Like, I know, okay, I get it. They use TC2 as their little hug box, and that's a bit sad, but it's kind of upsetting, you know?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, I wanted to, like, I said that as a joke because, like, I said the thing like, oh, I don't abuse my moderation powers against other people because I genuinely think that's fucking stupid and that's dishonest. So I made an example to something that happened to a person that I know. First was Anarchy, but then I said Slugger. And then Slugger gets in and tries to say, oh, well, you said that shit? Well, we settled. We settled on that. Yeah, I still don't like you, though. You still haven't changed. You're just mad that I won.
We simply won. We won.
Yeah, like that. Like that's just mostly like what LTMs think, right? They use TC2 as their little, because like the thing about high ranks is that they can say, they can talk shit about whatever they want. They can make jokes about other people, and that's completely fine by them because like they're high ranks, they're not gonna get punished and shit. But when someone else does it back to them, that's like harassment. That's disgusting. That's awful. And so they use TC2 as this huge hug box. And then you know, when those two situations were happening, I don't want to bring them up as much, but I'm just using them as an example to show how fragile they really are. Is that they can say whatever they want about anything, but if someone else takes that outside of T2 Discord server, they're gonna bail. They lost. Because they cannot rely on the Discord moderators. They cannot rely on the fact that they're high ranks. They cannot rely on their stupid ass memes because no one finds them funny. No one will ever find them funny, and their credibility is next to a pineapple.
I didn't understand what was happening in the chat. I was actually not looking at the entire time.
Okay, in the in-game chat, why did they like? I don't know why Clem started talking about ice, like making the jokes about ice. I don't get that.
No, a lot of people. I have no idea why people started talking about ice. Even in the YouTube chat too as well. I think
Slides?
ice was
What
there.
slides?
Yeah,
Wait,
Ice
like
was
Ice?
in the
Nice.
chat.
Yeah,
He was talking in there, therefore they started talking.
Also, what
Ice
Anarchy
Yes.
was talking in there. I
Yeah.
literally.
And
what did
Energy
he
was
say?
there for like one message and then.
What did he say?
I said you should let me on the stream, and a bunch of people said no, although that might be false memory.
Y'all should have let him on. You should have let him on.
Nah.
No, that would have been a First of all, Dance is there, so drama.
Yeah,
They can trade. I don't want to.
I'm there.
Both of me and Dance are like really notorious for that shit.
We're out. No, they're still like they're still mad about like what we've done. They're still mad about the fact that like we genuinely were right at the end. So.
Oh yeah, wait.
Dance,
Did you release the video? The
1K subs? I haven't.
No. The one you sent me. The fucking 50-minute long video.
That's enough.
The 15-minute long video. Which one?
Whoa.
No, the one with Anarchy.
Oh, you mean the?
Yeah, have you seen it on your Twitter? What have you done anything with it?
No, I'm not gonna do anything with it.
Oh, okay.
Like again, I'm like apart from like joking around about like some of the high ranks and shit, I'm not really gonna go mess with them because I'm not.
Yeah, I'm on good terms with like most, if not anybody. Like
I'm not in good terms with any of them.
Well,
like,
yeah, after what had happened with Slugger and Noki.
Yeah. Honestly, like I'm not even gonna try to make war with it because like I'm not gonna gain anything from it.
Wait, what happened with Slugger and Noki?
Wait, Ted, you're not aware?
This shall hereby be known as the FNAF.
Okay, here's the thing. Let me just explain, Ted. Basically, while this whole thing was going on and I was like mostly alone, Juju, if you ask about Debunking once again, I'm banning you from the server. But yeah, apart from that, I was about to say that basically someone, I think it was Toggle, I'm not really sure, but like someone said that like Noki is scared of like Twix or something. I had no idea who that guy is. But...
Twix is he was a T2 competitive player, I think. He is Site Squared. He basically what he did was he got banned for saying slurs. He got permanently banned. He made a video on it a while ago, but he privated it after the developers made fun of him and like publicly like shamed him. They were like they put in like blog. They started laughing at him. So.
Yeah, they do that. They make fun of those type of people, but when someone makes a little joke about them, they get mad. Do you not see the hypocrisy of that?
Yeah, Twix was also, he was like...
Wait, you didn't explain what happened with the... Wait, because I don't even know what was Noki even originally talking about?
Okay, here's the thing. When I read that message, what I said, because like that person said Noki is scared of Twix. I was like, oh, is he actually scared of Twix? And they say kinda. Like, oh yeah, I get it. And then as a little joke, because like it was also related, because like I do feel like that the high ranks are like watching me. Like they're watching every single thing I do, because like they're still mad.
They're the
that,
G-men
I basically
over you.
They're mad because I got their credibility down to zero just because I was bored one day. I was like, you know what? I'm making 2 videos, and that's it. I feel like they're still mad because when I said the only thing I said is Noki is scared. I said I think Noki is scared of me as well. That's all I said. That Noki is scared of me.
So this is all just like a joke?
I would also like to point out that the fact that Tad of Salt managed to understand instantly that what I said was a joke, and also understand that it was mostly an overreaction literally says more about this group of people going against me than anything. Yeah, it was a joke. And Noki got in. Noki DM'd me with that clip of him like fake laughing. He got in somehow. He got on stage. It was like, well. So would you like explain yourself, my guy?
So he was just like overreacting.
Yeah.
Yes, he was overreacting. The thing is,
like I don't even know. He sounds like he sounds really fucking weird.
He sounds retarded, dude.
Yeah.
You didn't have to drop that, bro.
And you know what's funny? Like, it's all like he wants to act tough. Like he calls me. He makes fun of me by saying, "Oh, you think you're so tough saying that shit to me?" But isn't it kind of funny that when he does that, he wants to get Slugger, AIM, or 2000 MS, whatever that bitch is called, to get in and like help him out by saying stupid shit?
And then Slugger joined, right? Slugger joined afterwards.
Yeah, Slugger joined after I make a simple joke about Slugger because like he doesn't know how to do moderation right, and he was like, "Oh, would you explain yourself, buddy? Can you explain yourself?" And they always present themselves like that. Like, what do you want me to say? You want me to say sorry that I'd offend you with my joke? Sorry that you got offended.
Yeah, I got really heated, so I just start FNAF.
Guys, I love FNAF.
Y'all do realize that Noki can bench 240, right?
What's the proof? No proof.
Okay.
That is a valid point. Where's the proof?
I'd also like to pause this for a second, because this clip will later be used in Slugger's video about me, to ask you guys a little question. What does Noki being a gym bro, being able to lift 240, have anything to do with the fact that he took a joke seriously? So guys, the proof is his own words and some gifs he posted.
I can bench 800.
Yeah, guys, I can lift an entire fucking building.
Bench,
So trust me.
I can bench to the universe. You guys got nothing on me.
I benched the fattest tester.
There's so many people. I'm going the other way.
I don't. Okay, Dumpstorm. I don't know what you mean with that.
Bench the fattest tester is weird.
Cubed, bro.
Bro, honestly, I don't even know. Like, to be honest, I don't even know who's like more. Who I pity more, like Noki or 2000 MS, because like they're both so pitiful in what they do.
What's that MS?
Exactly. 2000 MS. For example, with that whole situation that I was having, he was like one of the people that acted. Okay, he acted like he was like a centrist on the situation. Like he wasn't picking either side and was just making fun of it. But when he says that shit, but he was only making fun of me. And then when I did my part, okay, that basically made them lose and shit, like instantly. He was like, "Oh, I wrote notes on my phone that prove him wrong. I opened Samsung notes on my phone and I wrote every single nitpick because I cannot make a good argument."
That's kind of funny, like Samsung notes.
Yo, so if you guys want to join...
As you can see here, the evidence that was provided, which apparently led me to get permabanned for the 3rd time in the Discord server, is just a flimsy, out-of-context recording made by your average internet Frenchie that used a mostly neutral explanation of what happened as an opportunity to quote-unquote show that I'm an awful person. I basically had the same situation for the 3rd time. A moderator or high rank does something stupid and I ended up getting banned from it. And the evidence is pretty bad and easy to disprove. I basically had everything to disprove things once again. So why didn't I do it? Well, I did try to do something about it by reaching out the staff that originally unbanned me from the anarchy situation by clearly stating that there was actually nothing spiteful on my end. But I got ghosted. So from that point forwards, I just stopped caring and I decided to focus on other things. Because I thought at the time that it was a very stupid situation, so I didn't really think much about it. Because I still could play the game and get footage for the video I was working on, and even if I don't have access to the TC2 Discord server, at least I can still interact through other means, like other TC2 related servers, and my Twitter. February 29th, 2024. I wake up, I get bored while doing work, I check on my phone, and oh no. TC2 Mutuals blocked as Zionist? Well, that's a pretty heavy label. What did I possibly do or say that confirms that I'm 100% a Zionist? Oh, it's just Twitter likes. It's just fucking Twitter likes. And what are these supposed tweets that I put a like on that prove that this is absolutely factual? 3 memes. 3 fucking memes. And 1 post about a guy who commented on how many people on Twitter use a serious situation for virtue signaling. You see, this is clearly concrete evidence that I'm an awful person and I should be ashamed for it. But whatever, some people saw it and they stopped following me for it. So I didn't really think much about it again. And the very least that I did was to clarify it through a response tweet that no one watched because right as I was about to quote tweet Coworker, he blocked me. But whatever, I just did the response video. If people believed me or didn't believe me, it didn't matter. Because even if I got kicked from a few TC2 related Discord servers, I still had access to the game, so I can get my normal videos out during summertime and be fine. June 8th, 2024. So here we are, back at the start. This is the entire timeline of events, a time frame of 4 months that started from a fight out of nowhere because of a joke, to getting banned from the Discord server, to being questioned about things that I did outside of it, someone using those exact interactions against me, and now this. Slugger made a video on me that is supposedly proving that I am a racist, Zionist, anti-Semitic, transphobic, misogynistic, and... wait, what's that final line? Potentially a lolicon? What? This is a massive fucking word salad, and they're claiming that I'm all these labels combined? What the fuck am I, the final boss of the internet or something? Well, let's take a look at this hard evidence. Or at least that's how they call it, since they say that my videos are just, yap. Yeah, dude, they were full of yap. So much yap that it got Slugger to surrender last second and got all of you to hold a grudge on me for months. Let's actually skip to the evidence, and oh, it's the same fucking thing again. But this time, through a shitty music edit that I can't play because it's copyrighted. Well, since we're on here, I would like to say first that these claims are completely false. They are not true, and they are clearly made to spread misinformation and to defame me. And I'm about to explain every single one of them by showing evidence and by explaining myself very clearly. Since this is basically the same claim that Coworker did all the way back in February, and Coworker's tweet is the first piece of evidence shown in the video, I guess it's time to address Coworker first and show you guys how he's a massive fucking liar. Coworker is mostly an active TC2 member on Twitter that spends most of his time trying to expose other people in the community. The problem is that Coworker has falsely labeled more people than actually exposing them. Case number 1. Me. The main claim of Coworker about me is that if I put a like on something, that automatically makes me that something. I already explained how that logic doesn't make sense with the thing about Fireflanks confronting me about it, but I guess since this is used as the main form of evidence but to a larger scale from Slugger's video, I have to make a much more understandable example. There's an article that I found all the way back in 2023 where it was talking about the fact that likes and retweets don't mean endorsement. And while I don't agree with the statement from the article that says that people say that phrase because they're scared of the social media mob and cancel culture, I do agree with the first interpretation of the phrase retweets or likes don't mean endorsement, since it's more of a neutral stance. Here's what it says. I am open-minded, meaning that I sometimes discuss controversial topics on Twitter, and I may retweet alarming or offensive things that I strongly disagree with because of my commitment to free speech and constructive discourse. Therefore, when you see one of these offensive tweets, don't mistake my belief in free speech with support for the content. And while the article tries to disprove this by saying that it's used as a get-out-of-jail-free card, it mostly ends up being a hypothetical because this is based on the assumption that a retweet does imply endorsement, which I don't think it does. If anything, it just leaves the people looking at those interactions confused because it's left out of context. But Coworker, and later on Slugger, instead of actually asking for said context, they decide to put it in their expose post, calling me several labels, and expect you to believe it at face value. This is defamation. And surprisingly, I'm not the only one that had to deal with Coworker's defamatory posts. Case number 2, Dona. Dona became Coworker's target on January 2024, where he basically said that he was a weirdo for making suggestive art in the subreddit he was moderating, which is the TC2 subreddit. I managed to get in contact with Dona, so I'm now gonna let him speak his side of the story. So, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a video going around about high ranks saying that I'm like an actual threat to the community, and they permanently banned me from everywhere by accusing me. They first banned me back in February from the TC2 Discord, and then they permanently banned me from the game by saying, hey, we're banning you like to protect our community.
Yeah, that's so funny. Even though the community is like already like really heated, like, very toxic. It's very...
Yeah, but the thing is that they're using Coworker's claim of me being a Zionist or whatever, and they're also using the same tactic of using likes or whatever you did in the past to make it look like you're a bad person. Now, I just want to say, since I'm also making a part where I basically debunk whatever Coworker is doing, can you also explain your side of the story and your interactions with Coworker?
Oh yeah. So I don't know Coworker that much, all right, but this guy Coworker, he legit he went to my Reddit account. He dug up old posts that I made when I was like, what, 12, 13. I was a kid, man. We all make stupid stuff. And he would try to cancel me. He canceled me like 6 months ago and saying that I am a creep. I'm a bad person and I shouldn't be moderating the TC2 subreddit. And he's been trying to make stuff up over a dead topic. Dude, it's 4 years. You look at his screenshots and the comments literally say 4 years ago. Dude, I am 17. I am a teenager. 4 years ago was 13 years for me. You know, I was 13.
Yeah.
And you know, back then people didn't like me because of those drawings, and I understand that. You can hate me for that, but some people really just they just cannot get over it. I mean, a lot of people have already. That's why I have so many people, you know, following me right now. Starman's, Blockstyle, those are popular names. You know, I'm friends with those guys. Those guys like me because they talk to me. But Coworker, no, he cannot get it out of his, you know, mind that, oh, I have to cancel someone.
I don't know if you know about ESAM, but he's basically like the ESAM of the TC2 community. He just wants to cancel anyone just because they might have done something that they don't like.
Dude, I'm not even a part of the community. I haven't touched the game since, what, 2022? Dude, I haven't played the game since forever. He wants to cancel a regular guy. And now he's trying to do it to you for no apparent reason.
No, but also it's because, like, for my situation, he's just bringing up the argument that retweets and likes mean endorsement. Like, they mean that if I like something, if I retweet something, that means that I'm exactly that thing. And there's no, like, they always want to pick the worst outcome out of something. Like, if I put a like on a basketball post, I immediately identify myself as a basketball player. I'm playing basketball.
Of course, by his logic, yeah, no.
I am a basketball player. I am one of the first basketball players to be white. Can you believe that shit?
Dude, yo, chill out, dude, with the records. Now we gotta make a video about you being a basketball player or a Twitter post, too.
Yeah, I'm fucking balling right now.
Dude, another thing about this guy is that he has a big following. He has, like, a huge following of people. And he's like underage. This guy's underage, and he's, like, getting into topics that shouldn't really matter to him, you know?
Yeah.
You're a teenager, man. You're in high school. You should, like, go get a life and talk about, like...
Do your homework.
Do your homework. Just like us. We're all doing our homework.
Yeah, the thing about Coworker is that another story that I do remember was with the thing about Haas's, right? The whole Haas's pedo accusations. I don't know if you remember, but I think there was like there was a video posted on the subreddit, which I think is still up, where it showed like the interaction between the two. And when Haas's decided to switch from when, you know, he decided to stop making TC2 content and mostly dedicating himself to become the average Twitter artist, which makes just suggestive artwork. Yeah, which is like... It's not a thing that I agree. It's not necessarily a thing that I agree. I think it's very weird.
Look, it's not a thing I would do, all right, as an artist, right? But he is getting money from it. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. And that's why he made a post. I remember now. Thank you for bringing up Haas's. I was just like seeing the drama, you know, fresh from the start. And all I saw was that Haas was just getting canceled for drawing NSFW. Dude, he's just getting money from it. Oh man, a guy is trying to get money. Yeah, we gotta cancel this guy. Oh.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that in the replies, sorry to cut you off, but like in the replies, I don't know if you remember, Coworker asked, isn't the character like 16? But he said, no, the person who made the character was 16, but not the character itself. From that point forward, like he clarified that he did not draw like a child in a suggestive manner, because that's fucking weird. But from that point forward, Coworker couldn't have gone with the simple, oh well, Haas is just making weird art about characters, you know, on Twitter. No, he just went straight up. Haas is a pedophile.
Haas is a pedophile. He is making money. I need money. Cancel him.
So right now, we have 3 cases in which Coworker has lied about 3 people that are known in the community for his own gain. Now you might be thinking that nitpicking these 3 cases and generalizing Coworker as a liar is a bit of a stretch. But one other thing that I found out about Coworker is that it doesn't matter who the person he's exposing is, he will try his absolute best to cancel them just because they did something he doesn't like. Case in point, Case 4. Azriel. Azriel is a TC2 Twitter artist that is mostly known for making artwork that I wouldn't be all too proud of personally. But I don't really care. I mostly just see it as them doing their own thing. They aren't really hurting anybody, so it doesn't matter. They're clearly doing something that they like doing in their free time. But that's objectively wrong, because Coworker had to spit some real facts. Good day, Azriel. Just my opinion, but it might be better to separate your suggestive artwork from TC2, as most of the members are like 13 to 15 plus, so keeping it appropriate would be great, or just put a suggestive warning next time. I'm asking respectfully if you can't tell. And after a while of getting ignored, he says this. Honestly, Azriel's a reckless jackoff. He follows porn accounts since 16 or lower maybe. That's my honest impression of him, a porn addict. Just my opinion. Have a damn thought through that head of yours. Is this what you want of people's first impression or remembered you, hey, you're that guy who drew tits on a square, yada 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 bullshit? One thing that you'll notice from all these people that try to expose other people for being shitty, they all commonly share the worst grammar in existence. Plus, you're going to be 18 soon, am I right? What does it looks like for an 18-year-old artist who drew only fucking tits on a Roblox character putting tags on a 14 plus community and hanging around with a bunch of 16 below ages, Just my opinion. Ignore this, block me, I don't give a damn. You're following Haas's steps, and the fact you helped me with the evidence so I wouldn't suspect you is hilarious. I'll take quitting TC2 as an apology. You know, I think all of this was more than just your opinion, Coworker. You just looked at something you didn't like and you desperately tried to get them out of the community. And then once Azriel shows how much they don't give a shit, you dared to respond to that by saying this. Oh, so you really don't care about tagging a 14 plus community with your lewd drawings, retweets, and letting your under 16, 17 minus mutuals follow you and let them see those? You're becoming an adult soon. Is this how you want to be remembered and people's first impression of you? Move aside of your porn addiction and see what's the problem you're doing. Go DM me if you want to talk about it, or just be quiet and don't address like what Haas's did. God damn, you're in a bubble. Hey, Coworker, there's actually a secret cheat code to this. It's called unfollow. Also, I like how he implied that he should have reached him out on DMs, like he didn't just make a bunch of public tweets painting him as a bad person. Yeah, he's definitely gonna DM you after that one. He's definitely gonna clarify. Fucking loser. Also, I like how he decided to mention Haas's, as if he didn't also accuse that guy of being a pedo over a fucking drawing, despite him having the context. He just straight up makes another post calling Azriel out for following a kid diddler, which I have to clarify, that isn't true, to basically paint Azriel as a potential predator. Coworker has done nothing but lie about the people in the community to make himself look like the good guy, which, for the people that are gullible enough to believe anything on Twitter, sure, they'll believe it. But once you do the slightest bit of research on these people, nothing holds up. So, for precaution, don't believe anything that Coworker says. He's willfully being disingenuous and has constantly made false allegations against known and not as known people in the community, trying to paint himself as its protector, when that couldn't be further from the truth. He's no different from a longtime member and moderator. And speaking of them, I think it's time for me to debunk the video that Slugger has made about me. I will be talking about the points made in the video made against me because I really want to show you guys why this expose is complete dog shit. The video starts off by saying that I've kept the drama of icebergs alive and I only did it to quote-unquote throw Slugger and everyone else under the bus, which is implying that my videos on them staying online is because I want to personally attack them. That is a complete lie, and Slugger and the high ranks clearly playing the victim card, because I even stated in the update video and even in the descriptions of the videos themselves that the situation was resolved and that they were kept up for the sake of not letting history repeat itself. That of course failed because they're still bringing it up to this day, while also still going with the claim that my videos are defamatory, despite the fact that they've never once disproven any of my points in the video. So we're already seeing Slugger being incredibly dishonest, decontextualizing what actually happened to make you believe that I made the videos just because I wanted to get people harassed rather than what they were actually for, which were to address a genuine concern for the community. They want to push this narrative that the mods in the high ranks are victims victims of the evil content creator dance, simply because I was the only one documenting their wrongdoings that, since this video is happening, they never learned from, therefore never moving on. The claim that I was going to make a video about what happened at the 7 trade stage, which also explains why they're doing all of this in the first place, comes from an out-of-context screenshot from a server I was invited months ago. And while Slugger wants to make it sound like this was supposed to be my next video, these were messages from the same server in which I said a month ago that I wanted to make normal videos first, hence why I said I was going to release it next year. Because I promised in the update video that I was going to come back into doing exactly that. Also, the claim that the topics I was going to bring up are outdated, lacking proper context, or made to purposefully spread misinformation is clearly Slugger and their friends hoping that no one was able to witness what happened on the 7 trade stage and record it fully. Because if that's the case, there wouldn't be any way to prove that they're the ones who initiated this mess. Well, guess what? There was someone there to witness what happened that also managed to record it fully. Myself. So they basically wanted you to believe that anything that I would have brought up in this video would be completely false with no sources, which of course is a massive lie, because I explained the entire timeline of events that led to this very expose from happening, which shows that one of the high ranks took a joke seriously, made a fight about it because he got butthurt over it, while also getting other high ranks and moderators into it, and then get me banned with the only evidence being an out-of-context recording made by a contributor who's coincidentally a friend of theirs. If this isn't them trying to cover up their wrongdoings by playing the victim and presenting things out of context, then I don't know what it is. Another false claim is that Slugger went on Twitter to quote-unquote get more information, which is just another lie to make you believe their narrative. Never once for the past 4 months have I talked about this event occurring on my Twitter. At the time, I thought that it was mostly something to not really think about because once again, I was focusing on other things. But that's not what Slugger's trying to pull off in this video. What they're trying to do is introduce a slew of personal attacks against me to distract you from the main points they brought up in the first few seconds by bringing up my Twitter retweets and likes with the only purpose of dehumanizing me as much as possible. This is called ad hominem, a personal attack on the opponent's character that is made for the lack of an actual argument. One thing that you might have not noticed at a first glance, and trust me, I don't blame you for doing so, is that the quote-unquote evidence that is shown are screenshots that aren't even made by Slugger, because the very first thing they put, very cleverly I might add, is the post that Coworker made about me, which I've already disproven by not only explaining how I handled things on Twitter minutes ago, but by also explaining how Coworker is a disingenuous liar. And the PFP that is shown in the screenshot is actually one that Darky FaZe used to have at the time. And one look at the comment section of the video, and there's Darky FaZe himself commenting a wall of text that has even more lies than the video itself. Like for example saying that it had a Discord server, which for clarity, I never did. Slugger, if you want people to believe that this is something that you've done by yourself, at least make it look like you're the one who actually got the quote-unquote evidence that is shown in the video, so it doesn't look like a harassment campaign that you and your group of friends are making, which is exactly what you've been planning. Once you bring up the quote-unquote evidence with your shitty music edit, your first point is bringing up the common phrase, retweets and likes don't mean endorsement, which is true, especially in my case that I already explained previously. Yet you try to say that it doesn't count this time by saying that it's 90% of my interactions, which is an absolutely false percentage. You're trying to say that out of 1,652 tweets that I've made since 2017, 90% of them are offensive memes and shitposts, therefore it confirms that I'm a racist, homophobe, transphobe, and whatever buzzword you put in. Which, by the way, if you were wondering, they're expecting you to believe that 1,487 of my tweets are exactly what I just described, and we're supposed to take you seriously? Since I've already disproven this percentage, let me disprove it even more. If you actually count the amount of retweets that are shown as quote-unquote evidence, which also include 2 quote tweets that aren't related to any sort of claim that they made, it totals up to 27 tweets, which turns out to be only 1.63% of my Twitter page. And if you even want to go the greater mile and include the tweets that I put a like on, that number goes up to 72 tweets, which even if you put them in percentages, that doesn't even get to 5% of my Twitter page, only 4.48%. Now, you could say that is still a concerning amount, which, yes, I agree, which is why I apologized for it earlier. But the main point is that it's not 90% of my page. This fake percentage was made to make you look look into my Twitter profile, scroll for a few minutes, and then pretend that percentage is real, when it's quite the opposite. So these labels, no matter how much you personally hate me, aren't true in the slightest and are incredibly exaggerated. Here are some claims that I think are rather important to clarify, despite that, like the rest of the points, they rely on the second point being true, which it isn't. It's that Slugger is trying to say that despite me calling out people for being a groomer, I retweeted a lolicon dog whistle. And I like to say first and foremost, I have no idea what they're talking about, and they just put it on the screen and then move on to the next quote-unquote point. And it is clearly made to dehumanize me even more by basically accusing me of being a pedophile. And by looking at the quote-unquote evidence they've previously shown, none of the retweets relate to this lolicon dog whistle. So not only this is a completely false statement, but it's also one without any sort of evidence. But that isn't the main point here. What Slugger is trying to say here is that I called out people for grooming, which is a completely inaccurate representation of what I actually did. Because never once in the Ice video did I say that he's a groomer. I actually standed by what Dona said about the situation, that since the age gap isn't all too big, it isn't grooming. My video was to show that even if Ice isn't a confirmed groomer, he still broke the rules, and how the high ranks and a moderator, who was coincidentally Slugger, was either denying or silencing anyone who questioned their logic. And if you're trying to say that my mention of Sand in the videos is somehow me calling him out for being a groomer, that was revealed back in 2022, 2 years ago. So most of the community was already aware of that, and I was using Sand as an example to show how they were trying once again to defend someone who broke the rules just because they were a friend of theirs. So not only did Slugger falsely accuse me of being a lolicon, but they also made up an argument to paint me as a hypocrite by describing what I did inaccurately. This is called a straw man. And this isn't the only time Slugger did this, because they also did it with their other two quote-unquote arguments. Here, they say that they've disapproved racism in one of my expose videos, which is vaguely described by Slugger to not outright mention that this is also related to the video I made on Ice. Specifically, the first part of Icy's document where the wall of N-words came from. This is once again Slugger purposefully misinterpreting what I said in the video, because I made it clear later on by saying that the racism part of the document wasn't the main point of the document. Now, Blockhead, I just want to tell you, I am not going to point anything against you, but I'm gonna tell you, just the 2 screenshots of the wall of text of N-words and Ice talking about goofing around isn't the main point of the document. So this is once again Slugger trying to switch the narrative to paint me not only as a hypocrite, but also as a racist. Hence, another straw man. Another claim is that Slugger is trying to say that I wanted to save the TC2 community. This is yet again another misinterpretation they've made, because never once in any of my videos did I present myself as the savior of the community. The only thing that ever came close is saying saving Rolf's image in the Anarchy video. But that's a part at the end of the video in which I say that the community should take the info that I managed to gather and spread it as much as possible. Because, much like the Ice situation, it was a genuine issue to keep Ice and Sand unbanned. And also, one thing that I like to mention, which is something that the high ranks and moderators cannot deny, is that the reason why I managed to get this information and make the videos in the first place is because, much like the situation that's happening right now, these 2 things directly affected me. So not only is Slugger once again trying to downplay their actions, but they're actively saying that I'm the one that is spreading drama through misinformation, when that is nothing more than false. This point is also extremely ironic, because if you remember from me reading the ban reason from the game, the last thing that they said in the reason was that they're doing this to protect the community, which is a complete lie, because thanks to the timeline that I've managed to provide, you'd understand instantly that they're the ones that made this an issue in the first place. So not only are they making a straw man by saying that I present myself as the savior of the community, but they're also trying to do it while presenting themselves as the saviors. So they're accusing me of something that they're doing, which by itself is also untrue. So this is also a massive social projection. So, in conclusion, this video is completely defamatory, and all the information shown is completely false. The quote-unquote points shown in the video are either purposefully false in hopes that no one has the actual context of what happened, massively exaggerated claims that have incredibly frail evidence, 3 strawmen, and 2 projections, which results in a clean 0 points proven. The only real thing that I'm guilty of is being irresponsible with my Twitter page, by showing my audience who stumbled upon it to see content that would be mostly considered offensive. In case you haven't noticed, this point wasn't present in either Coworker's post on me or Slugger's video. That's because that is a point that I made against myself, because I realized that what I did was actually wrong, which is why I previously apologized for it and promised that I'm going to be more careful on what to do with my page. It's called taking accountability, and I want to point this out because these groups of people going against me, instead of doing the exact same thing that I'm doing or just generally move on, they've decided to hold a grudge for 8 months straight because they were proven wrong once and thought that they had the right opportunity to take revenge on me by spreading misinformation, because Noki, one of the LTMs and now moderators, who's also the same guy that can lift 240, was unable to lift a joke. Well, that was a lot of talking. So now that I've managed to debunk the claims that were made against me, the ban that was made on me makes absolutely no sense, because it's based on misinformation and things that were put out of context. But I think it's fair to me to show you guys even more stuff that Slugger and Noki are guilty of, because just in case you think that all of this isn't enough to get this group of people permanently banned from the TC2 community, here are some other things that they've done that they've also tried to cover up. Let's start off with Slugger, the most recurring person within this entire conflict. What I'm going to show you are 2 instances of Slugger once again misusing their position of power to mistreat members of the community. One is to show that Slugger is biased and will abuse mod whenever something happens to one of their friends, and the other is to showcase that Slugger does mod abuse whenever they want. In case you haven't noticed, both of these have mod and abuse in the same sentence. Let's start off with the first one, by getting some info from the person that I mentioned at the start, Beanz. I already told you who Beanz is, but what I managed to gather from an interview I did with him is how he got mistreated by the staff, not only from a community standpoint, but also financially. And this, honestly, is way more sad than what they did to me. So, in regards to, like, your contributions to the game, what was exactly, like, your relations with the TC2 community or, like, the high ranks as a whole?
In terms of, like relations with the high ranks and also, like, working with, you know, TC2, for me personally, I was working with, you know him as, like, Toilet R9 or whatever. And, I worked with him on maps and everything, and I also worked with the fan art thing with I think it was like a TC2 Zine or whatever. I worked fan art with like fan projects and things like that, and I helped make backgrounds and I helped do all that. So it was mostly like a fan like community-based things, but I also worked with mapping with Lazy on the actual game, so like adding things to the game, in my case maps, and I also like helped, you know, add props and also add shape how things were gonna look, and also added like details and things like that for mapping. So I made 2 maps which are in the game right now, Koth Himalaya and TDM Cargo, and I helped make those. Yeah,
I do remember that you did make those maps. I remember you were like shilling them when you were like working on them like a few months back. But did you ever like get get paid from that? Because I know for a fact that a lot of people, once they do a contribution to the game, they get like some sort of reward from it, because they're contributing to the game, and the devs have to like give somewhat of a reward, or at least I think so from what I've seen. Did you ever get that type of thing?
For the first time, yes. When I helped make my first map, which was Koth Himalaya, I got paid. Now, for the TC2 workshop, what they do is they have the set of rules that they want you to follow. So, like, how to make map making, or how to do this. And at the time of making these maps, they didn't have the website, which you can, like, still search up now. I think it's called TC2 or it's Typical Colors 2 website, or it's something where it's like, oh, how do I make maps, or how do I do certain things? And they didn't have that, so all they had was a Discord channel on the official TC2 Discord, and it was like, okay, this is how you do this, or we want this guideline on how we want you to do these things. And they also said your reward, so what you would get at the end of the day, if it was added, of course, if your content was added. And for map making, the content that you got or that you added in return, like for rewards, was Robux. So you got Robux in return for adding your map. And the Robux that was given was team shared, or you could choose that, like, okay, we share it amongst the team that works on this map, or we send it to one person. And when I was working with Lazy, there was other people that was working with me too as well. I think one of them was Den, who you might know for working on multiple models in game, like Christmas models and also things like that. And we did a team collab, so we all got paid equally. And I think the highest amount that they paid for like a couple of maps, because each map had a different price point. So like if you made a Koth map, which was really popular and they didn't need as many, I think it was only like 10k or something, or it was like maybe like 20k. It was along that line. But the real big payers were, I believe it was like Payload and also TDM, just other maps like 3CP or all this other 5CP. And they paid quite a bit for those. So it was like 30k, it was 60k. I don't think it went over 100k, but it was pretty high. That's still in that amount is very high. And this was coming from Rolv directly. And we were paid as an equal. So with our first map, we made Koth Himalaya, and I helped make the original stuff in the sense like the re-revision from that we had made, and I helped add props and do some some cleanup, and it was generally like pretty simple work, so I didn't expect to get paid that much. And I think I only got paid like 2k or something, or I got paid like a small amount, which was completely fine with me, but that still is quite a lot. And when I made that map, I was happy. I was like, okay, this is cool. And it didn't matter to me that there were other people that slowly got added to that thing. So I think Camo Camper is on the credits list of that map too as well for some reason, and other people. And that's when the map was officially when I finished my work and I was like, okay, I'm done. And then the map was held for a little while, and they slowly added more people to that map for some reason. So I was like, okay, all right, that's fine with me. So I got paid at the end of the day by Rolv, and I think it was Anarchy. I think in my purchases. If I check right now, yeah, okay. So it was Anarchy that paid me out from the Roblox group that has all the Robux, and he paid me out like a set amount. It was 2k or something like that.
Okay, so you did say that for the first map you got paid. But what are you like? Is there something else that happened when you made the second? So the first map with Koth Himalaya, right? You basically you worked on the map and you basically got paid. But you're saying that like, why are you saying just the first map? Like, there's something else going on with the second map?
Well, yes, there's also something going on with the second map, and I'll get on to that. But there was also kind of like a hidden reward or whatever you want to call it. Like when you made maps and also when you make workshop stuff, there's special qualities in game where it's like community made or self-made or things like that. And those seem really cool to me because it showed that you added to the game. It showed that you contributed and that you helped. And when I made my map and when I helped and I have my credits on the thing, I believed, okay, I would get a, promotional item alongside with the Robux, which was, not to be expected, but it was still also kind of to be expected because everybody else had gotten too. So like from previous maps that you'll notice with people that usually are like not common contributors, they got like hats or they got special items. So I think one of the biggest ones that I wanted was a map maker's hat. And for a while I was like, okay, it's been quite a while, I got paid my Robux, but where is my map maker's hat? Where is this thing? And funny enough, when a lot of people were asking, and I think a person that was asking quite a bit was John, and he was asking, okay, where's my map maker's hat? They suddenly decided, no, we're not doing that anymore. It was only for a set amount of people. And I was like, okay, whatever, all right. And I was like, okay, all right, I'll make another map. So I make another map, and this time it's not only me adding it is me actually helping and, doing things that are shaping the creation of the map. It's not just a re-revision by fui by someone that like made the map previously. It's not just adding props. I'm actually creating the map itself. And I'm in a group of with Lazy and Den, so it's just us three, and we have a fun time. It's a great time, and we make the map. And if you play it now, it's a great map. I love it. I choose every time when we play the game, and it doesn't get chosen, but it's all right. But my credits are in that map, and I expected to get paid for my Robux because previously I got paid, whether it was a small amount or it was a low amount, and it was an even distribution. So I believed that, you know, for the things that we're paying for a TDM map, the group payout was 30k, and that was quite a bit. So I believed, you know, I'd get paid 10k. So when that map came out, this was also happening when the Ice Haha thing happened. And you know, I posted that on Twitter, and I posted the link for the Google doc on, you know, that
I do remember that before you
and I did
before your
that,
account
you know,
was
just
gone.
to I posted that to spread awareness, to say, okay, this guy, you know, he's doing some things and it's not very good, and we need to see what's about. And after I had made the map, I was still waiting on getting paid. And for a while, there was like dead silence. There was nobody talking about it. There was like, okay, my map's in the game. When am I gonna get paid? And you know, for a while, I was like, okay, I'll just stay silent about it too. You know, I'll just say, okay, I'm not gonna be, you know, an annoyance to these people saying, hey, when am I gonna get paid? What's gonna happen? And I wait and I wait and I wait, and it just doesn't happen. And I'm wondering, like, okay, when is this gonna happen? So I asked my friend Lazy, who is in connections with, you know, with these developers and everyone, and I'm not in a Discord server or anything with these. I have to talk through Lazy to ask for things or to like say things or whatever. So I asked Lazy, okay, when am I gonna get paid? And he tells me, you'll get paid soon, or we have to think about it, or just wait. And I wait. You know, at some point in time, I'm like, okay, this is the brink to I have to get paid because it's been so long. And I asked Lazy, when am I going to get paid? And he just tells me, they're not going to pay you because what you did on Twitter, which has nothing to do with like anything regarding the map or anything on my work with this. And he tells me like, oh yeah, Anarchy doesn't want to pay you because of the Ice Haha situation.
Like,
so I'm like,
so wait, you posted the story about Ice being really weird and doing like all that fucking unconsensual shit, to which would later like defend, and that when they would try to like silence me for it, in which the video came up about. You did all that shit, you posted that video, and they used that and instead of looking at that as like a good thing, like you're reporting on an actual issue, since they're friends with them, they just decided to like not pay you out of spite.
Yeah, that's literally it. They did not pay me out of spite. And, you know, I did get paid at the end. I had to get paid by Lazy. I did not get paid by Rolf. Lazy had to personally pay me. And there's a thing with Roblox where it's like group payouts that, I don't know, kind of like not within a group. Like you have to buy it through like purchases on like Roblox games. We use that system, and we couldn't do it with a group because we just didn't have the funds within the group. It was within Lazy's account. So, you know, we had to do it that way. And I was supposed to get 10k. Because of the tax that Roblox does, I only got 6k, or I only got like 6k from that. So I got less. I got like less than I was promised. And I did an equal amount of work compared to, you know, in my previous work, like just adding props.
So they basically used something that was not connected to your thing as a way to say, go fuck yourself.
Yes, essentially.
That's insane. That's fucking insane.
Also, like the same thing with the hat thing too as well, like the promotional item or like self-made. I didn't get that. I still don't have that. I think John too, he had to get that hat traded by a friend to just get that. Like he did not get that item. And I still don't have that item too, even from making 2 maps that are still in rotation. And it just sucks because it's like I got screwed over by something that had no relation with legitimate map making and content creation for this game.
I just don't know what to say. Like, these people just like taking things that are completely unrelated to whatever is happening just to like put you out of the community. Try to like say, because like this was before they were trying to like get you banned, right? This was before you got banned.
Yes, this was I had never been banned in T2, so this was before I got banned. Eventually, I did get banned at some point. That was because of a private server issue where it was like a bug issue, but other than that, I did not get
Wait, now that I remember, didn't you get permanently banned from the game because you like temporarily banned Onion Sue from 7 Trade?
Oh, yes, that situation. So what had happened was the server that I owned, because like 7 Trade wanted multiple servers so that multiple people can trade. and I owned a big like majority of the private servers for 7Trade, and one of the servers that I was in was with Onionsu. And Onionsu was constantly, spamming. It was like some type of trade announcement or whatever. It was like, "Hey, trade me this, and I'll give you, or I'm looking to trade this golden collector's katana or whatever." And it was just constantly in chat. And one of the rules in the 7Trade signs or whatever is do not repeatedly spam trade announcements, which is like still kind of annoying because it drowns out other people texting it. It's annoying. Like, it's such a high-priced item that not many people are actually going to trade for it when you just keep on spamming this thing. So I see that, and me personally, I was a mod at the thing, so I do it where it's like, okay, I'm gonna ban you for like a day. And the TC2 private server thing, it's so bad, it really is, to a point where you have to ban someone to just kick someone and then unban them again. So what I did was I banned Onionsu on the one specific 7Trade server, not the Discord server, just the game, and I plan to ban them for maybe a day or maybe 2. I don't think I would have done 2, but just a day, just to tell them, okay, you don't need to spam. This is getting out of control.
You were basically following the rules of like the average moderator.
Yeah, that was the integrated rules when you join the game server. That is the first thing. It is the sign that you see when you join, and you are supposed to follow it because it is a trade server. So that is what you have to do if you want to be able to trade on these servers. And I do the thing that I was supposed to do when people would tell me, okay, you have to mod this. So I do it. And I don't know like what had happened. I think Onionsu got very mad, which I can assume, like I would be pretty pissed too. But I'm assuming that Onionsu got mad to a point where they didn't want to wait like a couple days just to join back that one specific server. Keep in mind, Onionsu could have joined like any other 7Trade server, like they just could not join that one specific one. So I think like they got really, really mad to a point where they told their friends or whatever, and they got me banned. They told a mod that I had done like an injustice in this one server that they couldn't play in now for like a day, and it got me banned, and it got me perma-banned. It did not get me like, oh, 5-day ban for abusing this. It was a perma-ban. It was an infinite, it was like an infinite amount of like ban time. And that pissed me off so hard because I had done so much in that game. I had done a lot in that game, and I tried to make the trade servers like fun and unique, and not try to make it like people constantly spamming shit or like doing crap that you wouldn't want to see on a 7Trade server or like a trade server in general.
Wait, so you're basically saying that you were just following the rules of the moderator because you were a moderator of 7Trade at the time, before you decide to retire from the community in and of itself after the 7Trade tourney. You followed the rules by actually banning the person for just one day. That wasn't even universal, and this person and Onionsu decided to use that as a way to told like their friends, who was probably like at the time, like what was it? Probably the moderators, probably Slugger at the time, and they used that as a way to get you banned because in the context you were actually respecting the community server rules. Like you weren't like abusing your power. You were just actually just using your mod fix and stuff. Have you ever told Seven about this? Like, does he know anything about this?
Yes. So when that had happened, I was really mad because I was like, what the hell did I do? And I think this was like a day after too. And I went into the game and I was like, why the hell am I banned? And I think I also got banned off the Discord too as well. I think the first thing that I saw was like, oh yeah, you got banned off the Discord. And then you also got banned off the Roblox. And I was like, what the hell? And I like tried to contact any moderator that I could through like DMs or whatever. They didn't do anything. They said nothing, or they had the Discord feature where you can't talk to them if they're not in the same server as
that is so shitty. That is actually so shitty.
It's really
They keep on advertising themselves as being transparent, but they don't do that they don't do that when they don't like you.
No. And I even tried the good, moderators, like the ones that actually do what they're supposed to do, like Blockhead and even Green Sama, and they did not contact me back. They have not contacted me. And I went into a moderator chat with Seven, who is the owner of 7Trade, and a couple other mods, as well as ICT, who is like I like the guy a lot. He's an awesome guy, and
ICT is not a developer.
He's not a developer. That's what I was gonna say. He's not a developer, but he's like essentially helping teams or whatever. And he's a high role. He's a very high role compared to everybody else. And I tell them this is really gonna suck because not only do I own the other 7 trade servers, this is gonna affect my like Roblox account for TC2. I can't join the Discord anymore. I can't talk to people. I can only contact through like DMs or like through other servers. And it sucked. So I tried contacting them and they were like, okay, we're gonna help you out. And I think ICT wanted to help me out the most. It had affected the most, if not all, of the 7 trade servers. I think me being banned actually got rid of a lot of this to a point where there was only 1 left because I didn't own that 1.
Wait, so basically get you banned deletes the community server that you created?
It doesn't necessarily delete it. It keeps it, but you can't join the server. You essentially can't join the server.
Wow, that's actually
it has this
weird.
unique glitch to a point where once I eventually got unbanned, I had to like reroute a bunch of crap to a point where I had to contact moderators. Was like, can you delete this server for me because I just can't delete it, and it's like glitched, and it was a whole nother thing that I had an issue with. But at the end of the day, I tried contacting ICT, to help me out with this, and everybody tried helping me. And ICT personally DM'd a lot of the moderators. I think one of them was Blockhead, and Blockhead actually responded to ICT about me, not on my DMs, only to ICT's DMs. So keep that in mind. And
what did he say?
He said, I can't find these screenshots anymore because I left the server, but it was something along the lines of, we can't do anything. This is not our business.
How is it not their business? They are the moderators of the community.
Yeah, I don't know. They couldn't do anything about
Blockhead, it. Is Blockhead trying to imply that he's not on the same level of Slugger? Or is he trying to?
The guy's great. I personally like Blockhead.
Yeah, Blockhead seems to be like the one that seems the most neutral and doesn't necessarily abuse his power, or at least from what I've seen. But again, like what is that supposed to be? Like, it's not our business. Like you willfully know that someone has gotten unfairly banned permanently from both the Discord server and the moderator that banned him later on decided to make a new rule where if you're banned from the Discord server, you get banned from the game, just as a way to get you permanently banned from both things. And that's somehow not your business. Can't do anything about it. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't make any sense.
And like I said earlier, I got unbanned. And I think I got unbanned because I think I texted like Slugger or something along the lines of, can you unban me for this reason? Can you unban me for this tourney or whatever? I think that was the reason.
They only unbanned you because of the 7 trade tourney because they participated in that shit.
That could be the. But they also responded with, oh, we unbanned you because we didn't see any reason with it, or like the unban reason is very like flimsy or whatever. But the ban reason was very flimsy. That's what Slugger had said.
So wait a minute. You're telling me that Slugger acknowledged that one of their perma-ban reasons is flimsy, and they actually unban you for that?
Along those lines, yes, that's what he said. Oh yeah, I have it here. So the ban reason was, we unbanned you and you still continue to be intentionally rude. So goodbye.
That is actually like the exact same thing that they told me over at the Discord, me 6ban, when I was banned from the Discord back in February, where it was just like, oh, we despite your unban, which was caused by something else, you continue to be spiteful and mean to like the high ranks, which again, not really, it's actually flimsy. So if they acknowledge that something like that is completely flimsy, they unban you because you're organizing a tournament they're participating in, and then after that they get you banned again, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It's honestly incredible how Slugger managed to show absolute unprofessionalism as a moderator just because someone else who was a moderator of 7 Trade was doing a better job than them. And the only reason they unbanned him afterwards was just for the tournament, to then just ban him again. Despite saying that the evidence used against them was flimsy, they still kept them banned. This is just another way to show that Slugger still abuses their mod to get people they don't like banned, and apparently other moderators can't intervene with it. I still don't get what's the point of that. Like, what's genuinely stopping them from doing so? Do they think that Slugger will get them banned? They're also moderators. So it's either they are somehow unable to do something about a false ban, or they just don't care about what Slugger does, which is bad. But let's go over one more thing about Slugger. Their last interaction as a member in the TC2 Discord. But before we do that, let me let you guys see a row of messages from Slugger that were on a Discord server in which they coincidentally banned me from when this video released. I'm telling you that these messages in which he was talking about me, he was being really, really, really nice. Let's give them a read. Nah, I never treat you like Dance. Dance a special kind of bitch. Like a bad kind of special. Nah, bro, what the fuck did Dance do? He a bitch. He doesn't know how to grasp the concept of getting over shit. Also, ain't got the audacity to talk shit to my face. So, I don't fuck with that. Called my ass a bad mod, said I shouldn't be one, and then didn't elaborate despite saying he had genuine reasons. I don't fuck with that either. If a bitch got something to say, they should just say it. Yeah, bro, that's incredibly childish, bro. I never do that, bro. I'm here. Say what you gotta say. I already did, bro. I'm a band. I ain't got no beef, bro. Good. You're one step above Dance. Probably multiple steps, actually. That boy is so low. Would you believe me if I told you that these messages came out after, this? I place one ban, get criticism. They get unbanned anyway. And people still go berserk. Berserk. Look at how quickly these blanks are determined. Did he say an N-word there? Did he do a racism? Okay. Look at how quick these blanks are deterred. If you think I want to be around this people in any capacity, you are a crazy person. They never liked me, and I'm not going to moderate for a community that can't have the slightest idea of respect. You guys want to know why this whole thing even happened and why Slugger left the Discord server? It's because people were criticizing him for falsely banning someone making a joke about selling a golden pan for crypto.
If you're gonna say it, just say it to my face.
Mega Fef!
So now we have 2 confirmed instances of Slugger taking a joke seriously to the point of permabanning the person who said it. And they have the audacity to talk shit about me, calling them a bad mod, acting like nothing happened? Talk about a broken ego. So here we have Slugger, a shitty moderator and individual that has done nothing but lie about people they didn't like, abuse their powers whenever they had the chance to, and managed to gaslight a whole group of people into thinking they're doing the right thing. Despite acting like they're in the right, they're insanely delusional. Despite saying that they have concrete evidence for everything they do, it's always flimsy or non-existent. Despite saying that you should respect them, they never did the same thing at all. So why should you ever look at all of this and think that Slugger is a trustworthy person? And why would you also think that the other people who are also friends of Slugger, who constantly shit-talked about me while I was banned, should also be trusted and not seen as the genuine pieces of shit they all are? They aren't protecting the community. What they're protecting is their friend group, their hug box, their circle jerk of awful individuals that do nothing but make the TC2 community a toxic environment. And the worst part is that they want to blame me for documenting what they're doing by accusing me of what they're doing. Now let's get on to the last person I want to talk about, Noki. After a few weeks of Slugger leaving the Discord server, Noki stepped in as the moderator for the server. Due to what we saw with what happened on the 7 Trade stage, this is a red flag. If someone like Noki, who much like Slugger would take a joke as a good enough reason to get someone permanently banned, has the position of moderator, he would cause almost the exact same amount of trouble as Slugger. And you'd be right, because recently I managed to get in contact with a player called RyanDoge, who recently got permanently banned for allegedly sending NSFW images to another member. And what he told me basically proved what I thought was true for the longest time. from what I've gathered, Noki, once he stepped in as the moderator for both the game and TC2 community, like the Discord server, there's been a whole like ban wave of people. And one of the things that I've noticed is that, or at least what I've been told, is that you've been banned for apparently sending porn to a minor. And when someone asked Noki about the evidence of that, he said that he had it, but he didn't want to show any. I kind of want to know, like, if this is like another lie that they're making up, or maybe it's actually just a massive misconception. Like, what really happened? What happened in there? What's the context?
Yeah. So basically, I sent the original images to a different guy called Third Daya, but he kind of told Flam about the images. So the thing is, I didn't want to send it to Flam, but he asked me to send it to him like 2 times. So that basically meant that he was consenting for sending him the images.
Do you have the chat logs for that? Perhaps a screenshot?
Yeah, I do have screenshots.
Okay, so from these, yeah, we can clearly see that, okay, so Flammable just said, send me it. He just said, send me it, so he's technically, like, agreeing, yeah, you can send me this. Was Flammable the one that reported the thing?
Well, yeah, I feel like he did, because, like, a couple of days ago when I could still play my main account, he was, like, joining my games, like, many times, and he was, like, trying to spread the rumors around to, like, random people.
So he was basically, like, doing that as a way to get you banned for no reason at all?
Yeah.
Despite the fact that in context, I'm sorry to cut you off, but, like in the fact of context, it shows that he's the one who asked, so it's not really, like, a bannable offense if he asked for it.
Yeah. Like, this happened, like, 9 months ago, and this resurfaced again. Like, not too recently.
So the reason why I'm asking you this is because I don't know if you've seen it, but during the time that Hub was getting exposed with the Google document where he drew and sent Vor NSFW art to a person who did not consent to it. I don't want to make a comparison to that. I don't think, like, with the context that you gave me, like, it doesn't seem like you've done something as bad as Ice. Like, what you did was still bad. If I were you, I wouldn't have sent it anyways, because that's still, like, still, like, a very risky thing to do. But if it was in a context where it was all consensual, unlike Ice, where it wasn't, I think that's, like, more of a temporary ban, but not, like, something permanent. And... yeah. Not enough to paint you as this, like, weirdo that should be completely gone from the community.
Yeah, because, like, usually when I play the game, I try not to interact with people in, like, in-game chat, because I know the consequences of, like, what could happen if, like, something is hashtagged. They can still get banned for it.
Yeah, I do completely agree with that. It's it's become very difficult for the community to interact with each other, because now everyone can try to get another person banned. And that's mostly because of, like, the high ranks putting this standard that, like, you can report anyone, and just because they might have connections or they just like the person that is reporting, they're just gonna take the ban hammer and use it anyways.
It's to be or not to be. Like, most people, they can be biased in the community. That's why I never interacted with it whatsoever. I never had intentions of, like, sending it straight to Flammable. It was only to a different guy that encouraged me to make the stuff.
Yeah, like, I totally understand the thing now. It's kind of shitty, honestly. I'm sorry that you have to, like, kind of go through this bullshit, because I know for a fact that you played the game a lot, so...
Yeah, because I reached level 401 before getting banned.
Yeah, that fucking sucks. All that progress and all those matches just down the drain because of a lie. It sucks, man. I feel bad.
Yeah.
RyanDoge sent the inappropriate image because Flammable openly asked him to send it. With the context that was given, this was consensual. Now let me make this abundantly clear. I don't think that RyanDoge should get unbanned just because it was consensual. He still messed up for sending the image to Flammable, but I'm bringing this up to showcase the very obvious double standard that these mods have when it comes to banning members. When Icebergs, a former longtime member and contributor, mind you, was exposed for the exact same thing except that it wasn't consensual, what did the mods do? They said the doc was false, saying that Icy actually consented to it, which was a total lie. And only when someone else showed the lies in a video, they only got him banned temporarily for just a year. Meanwhile, RyanDoge, a guy who mainly just played the game, even if the context in his case proves that it was consensual and should have warranted a temporary ban. And yet, just because he didn't have connection with the mods or any high rank, he just got permanently banned with no way to explain himself. It's genuinely so terrible to see that this is the moderation that we should be accepting. One that is full of biased people that do nothing but cause damage and silence anyone from mentioning it. One that has other moderators straight up saying that they can't do anything about a ban someone else imposed. And one that has the holder of the group say that the videos about those things are full of misconceptions and misunderstandings.
Does Rolf know about that one video made about anarchy? I know about it. I don't know if anybody else in Rolf knows about it. But as far as I understand, that entire video is just a bunch of assumptions and misunderstandings. It's a reap what you sow moment. That's the most I can say about it.
This is something to be shown to not just the TC2 community. This has to be shown by people outside of it. People need to know how much shit is going on behind closed doors. People need to realize who are the ones that are actually damaging this community. But most importantly, people need to know that this whole 4 months of harassment with misinformation and actual shit talk was caused because of one joke in a tournament that led a group of people to get me out to compensate for holding a grudge for being proven wrong, which is, by definition, a massive fucking cope.
Wie geht's, mein Fräulein? Ich heiße Klaus und bring Sie liebend gern heut Nacht zu mir nach Haus. Ja, ja, mein Fräulein, so geht es oft. Man findet schnell den man erhofft. Kein Sophie wartet heute auf Sie. Nur ein Mann, der verliebt ist wie nie.